OTW. Bu, kita OTW, Bu.
So for the first question is going to be asked by Luis.
I'm gonna ask you the first question is, how long have
You've been working in Indonesia or living in Indonesia?
So I first visited Indonesia in 2010. I was actually living in China at the time, working for a furniture company, and I visited some furniture factories here in Indonesia.
And what is your first experience in Indonesia that make you think that I will live in Indonesia?
The first time I came here, like I said, was in 2010. I was visiting a factory out in Gresik. So it was in kind of the outer parts of the city. One thing that struck me that still is today is that the people of Indonesia always appear to be more kind and more open.
And what is your first impression of Indonesia?
I liked visiting the factory here because the first trip was really business. So I liked visiting the factory, and there were noticeable differences between the factories here and the factories I was working with in China. But then the following year, 2011, I went to Bali.
The next question will be asked by Vincent.
Do you think Pancasila is representing the identity of Indonesia?
I mean, I'm not Indonesian, so I can't really speak to the nations, but from what I know and understand, the basic 5 principles are also things that are kind of universal. I mean, everybody wants to have freedom of religion. Everybody wants to be treated with respect and with dignity. That's something that me as an expat, whether it's here or China or anywhere I go, that's something that I'm always conscious of. I try to treat everyone the way that I want to be treated and not overreact when things don't go my way. Even when something is wrong, I think you can still be human about it and not be abusive and not a person that will yell and scream. So, I relate to some of these principles, and I think they're the right thing to guide people, especially as there's growth. The country is growing, and with growth comes a lot of change. So I think there needs to be some core principles to hold people together.
What Indonesian values or attitudes stand out to you the most?
I think that there's a lot of tolerance, acceptance of other people's differences and culture. One of the things as someone who works here that I always find interesting is whenever I hire or a new team member starts, I can automatically see people relating to them. There's like an instant connection, even though they're from different places or different parts of the country, people seem to be able to relate to each other rather quickly.
Based on your experience, do you think the values represented by Pancasila are actually practiced in everyday life in Indonesia? Why or why not?
I feel that it's practice. I see signs of points being practiced. I can't say that I relate everything back to the principles, but I definitely, like I said, see it, being applied in day-to-day life.
Do you think the values of Pancasila can be relevant outside Indonesia?
I think that they already are. Most evolved countries or evolved nations seek to have everyone treated the same with dignity and respect. Everyone tries to set up goals or systems to have everyone's difference in religion or background.
Dalam penelitian ini, kami mewawancarai Mr. Cedric, seorang WNA asal New York, Amerika Serikat, yang telah tinggal di Indonesia selama sekitar 6 tahun. Dari wawancara tersebut, beliau memiliki pandangan positif terhadap Indonesia, terutama karena masyarakatnya yang ramah, terbuka, dan toleran. Menurut beliau, nilai-nilai Pancasila seperti menghormati orang lain, menghargai perbedaan, toleransi, dan kebebasan beragama dapat terlihat dalam kehidupan sehari-hari masyarakat Indonesia. Beliau juga berpendapat bahwa nilai-nilai tersebut bersifat universal dan relevan untuk diterapkan di berbagai negara. Dari wawancara ini, kami menyimpulkan bahwa Pancasila tidak hanya menjadi dasar negara, tetapi juga merupakan identitas bangsa Indonesia yang dapat dikenal melalui sikap dan perilaku masyarakatnya.